This is Southern Cross News with Joe Palmer.
A Tasmanian woman is being treated for serious injuries in hospital following a crash in the state's northwest. Police say the 33-year-old woman lost control of her vehicle and hit a tree on Pine Road in RIANA at around 9:30 this morning. The East Devonport woman was taken to the Northwest Regional Hospital and medical staff were on standby at the Royal Hobart Hospital in case further treatment was needed. The road was closed for 2 hours as police investigated the scene. The cause of the crash is still being determined, but police say it is likely inattention was a contributing factor. The war of words over the sacking of Cricket Australia employee Angela Williamson has intensified, with the Premier accusing Labor of spreading what he calls baseless lies. The opposition wants an inquiry after it was revealed Cricket Australia called the Health Minister to apologise for Ms Williamson's comments on social media.
Earlier this week it was revealed Cricket Australia employee Angela Williamson was sacked after taking to social media, criticising the state government on access to abortions. Her comments came after she was forced to travel interstate for a surgical termination, following the closure of Tasmania's only private clinic in Hobart last year.
It was a really tough time and I felt so invisible, and I didn't feel that the decision makers actually understood what it meant or felt like or cost to go through that situation.
Today, Cricket Tasmania boss Nick Cummins revealed he called Health Minister Michael Ferguson to apologise for the tweets, but said that's as far as the conversation went. The state government says that's proof it hasn't meddled in the matter.
There has been no effort by anyone in my government to influence the employment arrangements between Ms Williamson and Cricket Australia.
That's not good enough for Labor. It wants an inquiry into whether Ms Williamson's private health records were leaked.
Irrespective of who phoned who, there was a conversation between the Minister for Health and the CEO of Cricket Tasmania regarding Angela Williamson. What we need to understand is what information was discussed and did it include private medical details about Angela Williamson.
Labor's claims are baseless, they're lies.
If there's nothing to hide, then why won't the government participate in an independent investigation to clear this matter up?
The matter is before the Fair Work Commission. Sean McComish, Southern Cross News.
Hundreds of residents are expected to pack Hobart's Town Hall tonight to discuss ways of fighting the city's increasing traffic congestion. While some say commuter trains are the answer, others argue cars are here to stay.
These tracks are a key part of public transport debate. Many believe a passenger train could be one answer to Hobart's rising traffic congestion. Others not so convinced.
It unlocks land around the stations along the corridor, which are primed for redevelopment.
I can't really see, as an urban geographer and transport economist, that there would be much demand for it. You have to ask who would use it.
The discussion is part of a public forum tonight to debate whether Hobart's transport future is on track to keep up with increased demand. The existing 21-kilometre stretch of railway begins at the city centre and continues through the northern suburbs. Some say it would also work to ease our housing crisis as suburbs become more connected to the city.
The railway runs through commercial industrial areas at the moment, through Derwent Park and Moona, and so they could be rezoned and re-established as medium to high density living.
It's a really important part of a city deal that we're working closely with all local government authorities but also the Commonwealth to advance.
But Mr Copgrove says a train would interfere with existing traffic as roads are closed for train crossings. He says cars are here to stay and we should instead look at constructing a city bypass or the introduction of toll roads.
Public transport does have a role to play, but it's a very limited role. It's for people that work in the city centre, that go to work and stay at work until it's time to go home again.
Michelle Wisby, Southern Cross News.
And a multiple vehicle crash caused traffic chaos in Hobart during peak hour this afternoon. 3 cars collided on the Brooker Highway near Cleary's Gates around 4 o'clock. The northbound right-hand lane was blocked for a short time while emergency services cleared the scene. There were no injuries. A man who allegedly drew a crossbow and threatened police at a Molesworth property yesterday has appeared in the Hobart Magistrates Court. Rodney Jean Croswell is charged with a string of offences, including possessing a crossbow and firearms, attempted motor vehicle stealing, aggravated burglary and aggravated assault. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Mr Croswell was refused bail and remains in custody to front Hobart's Supreme Court in October. A mural tribute to a Tasmanian pilot and women's aviation advocate who was killed in a plane crash in January is now complete. Sandra Southwell's legacy will be officially unveiled in Sheffield on Saturday.
A true work of art and a fitting tribute, those who loved her and those who flew with her, moved by the likeness.
It's far beyond my expectations.
I find it very emotional. Just looking into those eyes on that mural, it just brought back memories.
Tasmanian artist John Eathorne was carefully chosen for the job, but sadly won't make this weekend's unveiling due to a battle with cancer.
And if anyone could do Sandra's face, it was going to be John. And if he couldn't get it right, you know, nobody could in my eyes.
He's put his heart and soul into this mural, and it's come together so well.
Barry is still recovering from the crash which killed the respected Australian aviation advocate on January 20 near Tomahawk in the state's northeast. The response to the work so far, an inspiring reminder of the legacy she left behind.
Sandra influenced so many people, particularly women and particularly in aviation, and was a great promoter of women.
People have travelled from interstate and overseas to attend the official opening on Saturday.
It's amazing that somebody would come from Montana to support and help, you know, with the mural. People from the mainland as well that have also contributed.
But for those who miss her daily, the mural marks a place her spirit will be forever captured.
When you look at it, is it her?
Oh, God, yes. Yeah.
She loved that aeroplane. She really did.
Jessie Gilmour, Southern Cross News.
A family business in the Huon Valley has been given a huge nod of approval, winning Australia's best new winery in a national competition. Mewstone Vineyard recognised as the cream of the crop amongst a tough field.
It's a stunning backdrop, now Mewstone Vineyard's gaining national attention, taking out the best new winery at the Halliday Wine Companion Awards in Melbourne last night.
For a young business like us, it's great to just get that added exposure and push our name out there a bit further.
The competition saw more than 9,000 wines tasted, with the winners now showcased in Halliday's 2019 Guide to Australian Wines.
In the international sense, I would imagine is the guy that has the biggest kudos internationally as a wine writer from Australia.
The vineyard's run by two brothers. Johnny Hughes is one of them, and today he couldn't be prouder.
Labour of love, you wouldn't do anything else.
The first crop was planted here at Mewstone Vineyard in 2011 by family and friends. After 5 years, their hard work was finally realised.
Matt and Johnny are the brains behind it, but everyone's been down here at some stage over the last number of years, helping to plant, helping to mow, helping to clean up and also pick the grapes when they come out.
Tasmania's House of Arras Rosé took the gong for the nation's best sparkling.
So we're just one of many brands that could have won an award like this. There is a genuinely exciting scene at the moment in Tasmania.
Louise HEDGER, Southern Cross News.
Tasmania has long been known as the gateway to Antarctica, and this week the Australian Antarctic Festival is celebrating the frozen continent. Thousands of people are expected to descend on Hobart to take part in the festivities.
100 metres long and 10 stories high. The Investigator is Australia's only blue water research vessel, and this weekend it's open for inspection.
It's a wonderful history. And we're trying to tell that history and to help educate people about that history.
Tasmanians are invited to walk these decks as part of the Australian Antarctic Festival, used by researchers to map previously unseen parts of our oceans, and a long list of other projects.
I've been looking at habitats around Tasmania as proxies for what we're expecting to find in Antarctica. Under the ice shelves, we're expecting to find quite a few features that are of interest.
Across the harbour, 8,000 penguins mark the festival's opening, each painted by a primary school student. The festival aimed at informing children and adults alike about our unique relationship with the frozen continent.
Antarctica forms a large part of Hobart's history. I think it's really great to have the Antarctic Festival here to illuminate that history and to show people what we're doing at the moment and where we'll be going in the future.
It's a great way to showcase Tasmania's rich Antarctic heritage, our history, which is quite extraordinary and unique, but also the importance of the Antarctic sector to our state.
The festival continues until Sunday. Events include ship tours, art exhibitions and history talks. Michelle Wisby, Southern Cross News.
Now let's take a look at the day's business and finance news with thanks to Tasplan, your local super fund. The Australian share market has closed lower, dragged down by the materials sector following Rio Tinto's first half earnings miss and further concerns over the trade war between the US and China. The ASX 200 index has dropped by 34.8 points. A short time ago, the Australian dollar was trading at 73.89 US cents and 109 New Zealand cents.
To the TSL now, and the stage is set for one of the biggest matches of the season, with two of the competition's flag contenders ready for battle. And with the Blues and the Roos showing some impressive form of late, it's anyone's for the taking.
Clarence pushed North Launceston every step of the way last weekend, and despite falling short, the effort has the Roos coach feeling optimistic heading into September.
That was probably our best game for 6 weeks. Large parts of the game, we had momentum of the game and we locked the ball inside our half, and I thought that was a real highlight of our game and our ability to work for each other and defend.
But Webberley isn't getting too excited just yet, with Launceston bouncing back from a temporary form slump, notching up an impressive win over Lauderdale before the bye.
For us, it's about going out and replicating exactly what we did 2 weeks ago against a side that's obviously in form.
Well, the midfield's quality, they're very deep and obviously very good at winning contested balls, so I think you need to break even there, and then I think you need to close down their kicking game.
And the Blues will be showing their opponents the same respect at Windsor Park as the top 5 clubs look to fine-tune, approaching what's expected to be the most hotly contested finals series in years.
There are a high number of players around contests and stoppage, so we'll look to work out a way and a strategic plan to combat that.
Launceston Tornadoes coach Derrick Washington says his side has the genuine belief to go on and claim a Seabull championship. As of earlier today, tickets to the side's upcoming prelim final at Elfin Stadium officially sold out.
9 days till tip-off, but no tickets left in sight. Elfin is set to erupt on August 11.
It's special, especially for me as a head coach. You always want that home crowd backing you up and having that community and support, and the fans have been awesome.
Washington's squad sent a stern message to the Seabull last weekend, ending Bendigo's 20-game win streak. And while the rest of the competition may have been shocked by the result, the Tawns coach says the club certainly wasn't.
My vision, we can win a championship, but I knew I had to take it a game at a time. The ladies are starting to believe in my vision, and it's starting to come together and they're starting to believe in each other, which is the most part.
To netball, and things are heating up, approaching round 1 of finals, with old rivals Kingston and Karana set to clash. The Flames are out of finals contention, but an upset win could affect where the Blues finish up in the top 4.
The last couple of weeks we've really hit our straps and we've come into each game firing, so we're hoping to continue that and really hit some good form when it comes into the first round of finals.
We're just focused on making sure we finish off the season in a good way and make sure we've kept our passion back for the game, which has been the focus for the last few weeks.
And National Rugby Sevens action is set to return to Tasmania, with the Sandy Bay UTAS campus set to host round 1 of the annual Women's University Series, consisting of 10 teams from around Australia and featuring some of the country's best players.
A lot of the current, fully professional girls will be playing in the competition. We'll get Emma Sykes in round 1 and 2, so they're distributing those players through the competition to really boost that next level.
The tournament kicks off on August 25.
Welcome back. 12 degrees today for Hobart and also Launceston. Burnie reached a top of 14 with 13 the top in Devonport. 15 was the state's top today for Smithton. Vineyard, St Helens, Strawn and the Bass Strait Islands all 14. 13 the top for Eddystone Point and Grove. Medina and Bushy Park 10 degrees with a top of 9 for Ouse and a very chilly start of -7 for Lyweenie. Low cloud visible over the north of the state, high cloud elsewhere. Further out shows a strong cold front with associated prefrontal and frontal bands moving across South Australia, and the pool of speckled clouds over southern WA with low cloud lingering over the tropical north. Tomorrow, the ridges now over the Tasman and the northwest of the continent, and a cold front moves across the mainland. North to northeasterly winds, mostly 20 to 30 knots, lighter about the northeast, tending west to northwesterly on the west coast later on, with seas between 2 and 3 metres. There's a strong wind warning current for most coastal waters, lighter around the northeast, a strong wind warning current for southeast inshore waters, and a small craft wind alert for central lakes. Rain through the south tomorrow, Hobart and Campania 17 degrees, 16 for Huonville. Late rain for the north, 15 in Launceston, 14 degrees for Devonport and Georgetown. Rain developing across the northwest also, 14 in Burnie and Vineyard, 16 for Strawn, with 15 for St Helens, Swansea 16 degrees and a top of 14 for Port Arthur. Showers across much of the state on Saturday, some cloudy conditions there across the southeast. Similar conditions again on Sunday with a warmer morning expected for most parts, with a rainy day on Monday to kick off the working week. Around Australia, 19 degrees tomorrow for Perth and also for Canberra. Rain for Melbourne, 16 degrees, sunny and 23 in Brisbane, 18 and sunny for Alice Springs, with showers for Adelaide, 14 the top. And it's 8 degrees at the moment in Hobart, Launceston 8 also with a few clouds, and Devonport 10 degrees. That's all from me, Jo. Back to you.
Lovely. Thanks so much for that, Sam. Have a lovely evening. That's all from the team. You have a great evening too. See you a bit later with updates. Bye-bye.